As you know, meeting an animal in the wild does not bode well for a person if they are not an experienced hunter. In most cases, people are powerless in the face of dangerous predators, and they have practically no chance of surviving. If not for human ingenuity and a little luck, perhaps this story could have ended much worse. But nevertheless, we have a lot to learn from the main character, so make yourself comfortable, we're getting started. This story took place on one of the lakes in the Komi Republic. A harsh and long winter has begun. The temperature did not rise above 28 degrees Fahrenheit for several days, and the lake was covered with thick ice which could support the fishermen. A local resident was going on a winter fishing trip. He collected all the necessary accessories, fishing tackle, special fishing rods for catching fish through the hole, and lures. The lake was located in the depths of the forest and was surrounded on all sides by tall trees. At this time, people would normally have to be on the lookout for wolves, but the locals had not heard howling at night for a long time, so they were sure that the wolves had gone far into the forest. Bears lay in hibernation in winter, so there was no need to be afraid of them. Therefore, the man did not worry about meeting with wild animals and did not bother taking the space to pack a hunting rifle. The day was frosty but sunny, and the fisherman was in good spirits. Already in the first hour of fishing, he caught quite a lot of fish and was looking forward to how his wife would be delighted with such a large number of fish. As soon as he reeled in a new catch from the hole, he carefully put it on the ice so that later he could collect it in a net. The pile of fish grew and grew, and the fisherman was so busy with his work that he did not notice how a pair of hungry eyes from the forest had been watching him for a long time. When he pulled another fish out of the hole, he turned his head towards the forest and was frozen in terror. He stood there and did not know what to do. Not far from him, a huge brown bear stood and looked directly into his eyes. It was such an unexpected meeting that the man even thought that he had imagined it. Usually, bears go to sleep before the onset of cold weather because under the snow they cannot get their own food. But this time, something went wrong. Apparently, this bear was unable to gain enough subcutaneous fat to go into hibernation. This sometimes happens when there is not enough food for them in summer and autumn, and this year was not particularly fruitful for berries and nuts. So now this bear, hungry and cold, wandered through the snow-covered forest in search of some kind of food. Bears that have not gone into hibernation are very aggressive and extremely dangerous. They attack everything that moves without hesitation, and now the man stood less than a mile away from such a dangerous beast, unarmed and defenseless. It was simply useless to run away since the bear could catch up with him in no time, but standing still, waiting for the bear to attack him, was also not an option. While the man stood trying to decide what to do, the bear went on the attack. It stood up on its hind legs, growled menacingly, and rushed at the man. The ice beneath it cracked, and it seemed that the bear was about to fall through, but it was still strong enough to withstand even the huge bear. When only a few steps were left before the man, the bear suddenly stopped abruptly and began to sniff. Obviously, the smell of fresh fish that the fisherman caught its nose, and now the bear was trying to decide what was more important, a person or fish. Having caught the bear in confusion and noticing that he was looking at the fish, the fisherman, without a moment's hesitation, chose the largest fish from the bunch and threw it right into the paws of the hungry bear. It quickly grabbed the fish and swallowed it whole. By this time, the man had already picked up the second fish from the ice and again threw it to the bear. The predator swallowed it in one gulp and already looked at the man with expectation. The man picked up the fish from the ice one by one and threw them to the hungry bear. It sat on its hind legs like a trained dog in a circus and was just waiting for the next portion. After all the fish caught by the man that day was eaten, the bear fell on its back and began to lick its paws, only occasionally looking at the man who still stood in a daze and did not know what to do next. Then the bear completely collapsed on the ice, warmed by the bright midday sun, and snored very loudly. The man was still standing. He was afraid to even move so as not to wake the wild animal, but the bear slept soundly enough. Then the man with numb legs took the first step towards the shore. The bear did not move, so the man took another step and another. Then he started running and very soon reached the shore and ran into the forest. There he finally took a breath, then ran home. When he arrived at his village, only then did he realize that the danger had passed. First of all, he ran to the local gamekeeper to inform him about the bear, which did not hibernate this year and poses a huge danger to the locals. Something urgently needed to be done with him, and only then did he go home, still not fully recovered from the terror he had endured. One can only imagine what would have happened if the catch that day had not been so good, or if the bear had approached the man before he had caught any fish at all. One thing is clear, that day luck was certainly on the side of the person. It is also worth admiring the fortitude of this man because he did not succumb to panic, did not run away, but remained calm near a dangerous wild beast, did not lose his composure in difficult times. It was all of this that saved his life. Do you agree? Share your opinion in the comments.